Hi there, thank you so much for joining me. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute Merci Chocolates gift box that has a unique opening here to reveal 4 Merci chocolates on the inside. I'd love to give credit to fellow German demonstrator Elvira Hortner. Her blog is Elvira Stempelzimmer. I just love this box that she came up with, so I converted the metric measurements into inches, and I'm going to show you how to make it today. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a piece of real red cardstock that measures 3 3/4 inches by 10 1/8 inches. And on the short side, the 3 3/4 inch side, we're going to score that at 3/8 and 3 3/8. I'm going to rotate it to the long side, the 10 1/8 inch side, and we're going to score that at 3 1/8, 3 1/2, 6 5/8, and 7. Now I want you to go ahead and fold and burnish on all of those score lines. I'm going to bring in a template here, and what we're going to do is, it doesn't matter which side you start, but because these two sides are the same, these two sections are the same size, but we're going to go ahead and cut away this long section plus the little square off of both sides. So you can see that here in the template. So long section plus these little squares, we're going to go ahead and remove those. Next, we're going to cut up these two little lines stopping at that horizontal score line. And then we're also going to notch in, and those are going to be little tabs that we'll create to put the box together. Okay, so there we go. We've done all of our cutting. We cut those two sections here, and then we notched in these little tabs. Now next, what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut out this heart from this section, but to maximize our time with the Big Shot, I'm also going to do some stamping as well. So we're first going to stamp this little heart here in Blushing Bride ink. I want to show you the two stamp sets that we're using on today's project, Heart Happiness, and we are going to use this little polka dot heart, the striped heart, and then this little grouping of hearts here. And then we're going to use the sentiment XOXO from Bloom in Love. Perfect stamp sets for Valentine's Day. So using a scrap piece of Whisper White, I'm going to grab that polka dot heart and we're going to stamp that in Blushing Bride. All right, then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot because we're going to cut out our little peekaboo window, and let me show you what that looks like again. This window here, we're going to cut that out from this panel up here, the panel that we did not remove the sides from. So we will cut out the heart from here in this direction. This heart comes from the Lots to Love box framelits. And then we're going to use this heart from the Sweet and Sassy framelits, a great layering set of hearts. And we're going to use that to cut out our Blushing Bride. So let me go grab the Big Shot and we'll cut those out. Okay, so we've now cut out our little peekaboo heart here, and then this heart for the front closure. And next, we're going to go ahead and put in our little window sheets. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to grab a couple of glue dots, and we're going to put one glue dot in each of the 4 corners of this window sheet. This window sheet measures 3 inches by 2 7/8 inches. And this window is going to fit just inside the score lines here. And it's okay if you see the glue dots because you will not see them once the box is closed. But there's our little window. Okay, now I'm going to use some liquid glue and we're going to put our box together. I'm just going to start with one tab at a time. Put glue on the tab, and then we're going to create the bottom part of the box by meeting up this cut edge with this score line and holding that into place. Then we'll repeat that on the other tab. Then I'm just going to apply glue along the side here. And we'll fold one side of the box into place. And then we'll repeat that on the other side. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put in our Merci chocolates. And 4 of them will fit perfectly inside this box. I love that little peekaboo with that window sheet. Now let's go ahead and work on the top panel here. And I've got a piece of Whisper White that measures the same size as the window sheet, 2 7/8 by 3 inches. We're first going to start by stamping this beautiful striped heart in real red ink. And then we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing here. We're going to maximize our time here as well. The first thing we're going to do is stamp this little grouping of hearts in Versamark and then emboss it in gold embossing powder. So we'll do that. And then the second thing we're going to do is using a piece of basic black cardstock, I'm going to stamp the sentiment XOXO, and we're going to emboss that in white. So I've got all my tools out. Again, we're going to maximize our time here. All right, look how beautiful it is with the gold and then that white on basic black. All right, so now what we're gonna do real quick to make our little sentiment here, I'm gonna use the classic label punch and go ahead and punch that out. I'm gonna center the XOXO in the middle. And then to create the banner ends, all I'm gonna do is feed this back into the punch and punch out kind of that little diamond shape. And then that's going to create that little banner end for us. Repeat that on the other side. Look how cute that little banner. Super cute. Okay, next what we're going to go ahead and do is adhere this to the front panel here. I'm just going to use some fast fuse on that. Okay, now the trick to put our little slit in here is to just punch out a scrap piece of paper using the classic label punch, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of liquid glue, and this is just going to help us position where we want to punch out that little slit. Now if it's easier for you, you could certainly just use a scrap piece of different colored paper so that you can see it. And so I've just glued that to the front there, and then all I'm going to do is to take my punch and use that little piece that we just adhered as a guide. So I'll just put my punch around that piece we glued down, and there we go. It's punched right where we wanted it to go. Now next what we're going to do is we've got our little heart that we stamped in Blushing Bride. I'm just going to take my bone folder and just gently curl and kind of break down those paper fibers. I'm going to grab liquid glue and I'm going to run a bead of that right up the center of the back of the heart. And then close our lid where we want it to close. Place our heart right in the center of that punch out. And hold that into place so that's nice and stuck down. While that dries, I'm going to go ahead and use 3 of our mini dimensionals. Place that on the back of our XOXO sentiment. And then we'll pop that right on the front. So cute. All right, now I think that's adhered down, so I'm just going to gently pinch on it. Make sure that that opens successfully. I love that opening and closing. It's genius. Super cute. Now you could certainly decorate this with any other stamp sets or colors and change up the sentiment to use this for so many different occasions. So there we go. There is our Merci Chocolates box. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss my next video. If you're in the US and you're interested in purchasing any of the products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project details and measurements. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. And I have options to subscribe to both my blog updates and my newsletter, and I'd love to welcome you as a subscriber. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.